So quick video on analysis for the past three trades and how the account's doing for Telegram. And then if you're in Discord, I'm also just gonna send a notification that there is a video in Telegram. I don't think I could drop it in Discord. But yeah, anyways, I'm trying to just do it simply and then give y'all the breakdowns. And going forward, like my goal is to just give an analysis in the morning, just show what I'm looking at, show the setup that could potentially be there. And then if you guys want to follow along, y'all can follow along. I'll send the pictures when I'm up or if I'm in a trade. I'm just not making it like a signal because that's not what this is. It's for people to just track and watch what I trade and tag along with the positions that I'm getting into. Because at the end of the day, I don't believe in signals, so yeah. And I just had to let that be known. But anyways, the two moves that I made profit off of, and then we'll show the one move that I did take an L off of, which I could have won. But anyways, currently my account's at 214. Good. Check. CN1. If you got liquid, you know that live broker. Anyways, back to the charts. The first move that I noticed, if I go to the 4-hour time frame, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was this move right around here. And why was this move right around here is because a lot of my zones, as you could tell, they're coming from the 4-hour time frame, and then I'm going on the lower time frames and correlating trend with the 4-hour zone. And it'll make sense once we explain it more in the video. So, taking consideration that I seen price made a high or low, and I was simply just taking consideration that price is bullish, we're staying above highs. There's nothing really telling me that we're in a downtrend. So I go down on the time frame. I mark this high and I mark this high. Go to the 1-hour time frame, and this was the move right here. So just to go back in the 4-hour time frame. Price around that first move, it was right here. Price made this higher low on the 4-hour time frame, gave me indication that price was bullish. Wasn't in a sense of like, oh, it's ready right now. I just took what I seen that the day the market came in New York session. So once I came to the 1-hour time frame, took consideration that of this level right here that I marked, go to the 4-hour, this is a high level on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm simply just taking consideration of how price is reacting to a high being above the level. So I go to the 1-hour time frame and I took consideration that price was coming above and showing clear structure to stay above this zone. So I clearly went to the lower time frame. The only reason why I'm saying I'm going to the lower time frame is because right here, this is a move where I'm simply taking consideration of the choppiness right here. I noticed that price got really choppy and gapping up and then making a higher low right here. So I took consideration that price came all the way down to break this level. So I wanted to see if we're in a bearish trend, where does price need to essentially take out the sellers to continue? Because something I've been noticing in NAS that I picked up with ICC is that when price is correcting, most of the time it's trying to take out it's trying to take out the creators, because they don't, at the end of the day, that's just the game of the market. The market don't want you to win. And with gold, it's been a lot more cleaner, so it's not really taking us out. Essentially, it's just giving us more confirmation that we're in that sort of trend that we're in. With NAS, over the time I've been watching and back testing, I've been noticing that NAS likes to take the creators out and then continue. So I took consideration that at this 1-hour time frame, I just need to make sure that the 1 hour is bullish, the 4 hours bullish, and it's aligning with the 15-minute. And it was. Price made a high around this time. You see that price isn't breaking under, it closed above here. On the 1-hour time frame, price just came to make a new high, came down to make a low, and because this was choppy, we're just going to take it as a low. Price can make a higher low, make a new high. You see the wick levels, so you can see that there's a lot of buyers that push price. So we're already just having a bunch of indication that buyers are in the market right here coming into the art session. Go to the 15-minute time frame, and this is where things got really juicy for me. I noticed that above this level, price has bought once, twice, like so many times above this level. So to act as if price isn't buying above this level is foolish. So I simply took consideration that I want to be buying price right here, and where I was taking my trade out was around this level right here. I wanted to see if price could break the creation of this low and then continue to make a new high in the market to be bullish. That's what I was looking for. At the end of the day, New York is tricky because I've been noticing that NAS has been moving a lot more out of session than in New York session, and I'll show you guys right after, as you can see a little bit over here. So I took consideration that price was breaking above. I took a buy position right here. I put my stop loss literally right under this wick level because it just gave me an indication that this is where buyers kicked in. If I'm wrong, then I need to be taken out around this level. This is where buyers are not at in the market. So I took this trade and I held all the way up here, and that's what helped me make my first win on the trade. And before that, I was making a couple small wins, and then I did a couple deposits. I'll show that right at the end. And then once price came all the way up here, I wasn't looking at the market, and then it ended up dipping. I noticed that price ended up dipping simply just because if you go back to the 4-hour time frame, reset the chart, boom, boom, boom. Notice that with this 4-hour candle, look what happened. Price ended up once again tapping the creators of this sell order, taking everybody out, making it look like price was buying, took all the buyers, we got all the buyer orders in, right? Then you go back to the lower time frame, and I don't know why it's so choppy like that. And you go back to the lower time frame, and you see the 1 hour. You see the 1 hour. You notice that the high is here. Price tapped into it. Price already tapped into it, and it already showed you indication that we are not able to push above this high and stay continuing. Made a lower high. Go to the 15-minute time frame. Get a little bit more detail. You notice that price came to make a low, was retesting. When price makes a low, you can expect to make a high. So price made a low, retested all the way up, broke above this lower high, but failed to break above a 4-hour higher time frame. So higher time frame zone. What did it do? End up selling all the way back to where buyers created this move, making a new low in the market. New low in the market on the 15-minute, right? So then people would think this is bearish. All you have to do is just go to the higher time frames and notice where we're at in the market. Notice that when price came to make this low right here, it did lower high, lower low. So you're like, okay, perfect. We are in a sense of a downtrend, correct? All you have to do is look left. You would have noticed that, are we really in a downtrend, or is price starting its form of correction? Because notice how price came to make a high above, got choppy, gapped up, made a new high. We have yet to see a correction. This is finally a correction in the market. This is finally a correction in the market. You go to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see it a little bit more clear. Notice that price came to make this high, started to make struggles, gave you a clear high indication right here, and then started to sell off, new higher low in the market. Simple, right? Now, what I was looking for, this is why I was a little frustrated. I did miss this setup right here, but I ended up catching it right here this morning, as y'all could see. All you would have had to do to easily identify this trade, you've seen price made a new high, price made a low in the market. Now you have a high and a low. You can't really assume that this is a higher low just simply due to price being super choppy. Price comes in, makes a lower high. So now you see that you have a low and a lower high. So what do you expect? A new low in the market, right? See the new low in the market. When you're on the higher time frame, you're telling yourself, yes, this price is selling off right now, but this is a correction that needs to happen simply because price was so bullish. So now what happens? You're waiting for a change of structure. See price come to make the low, lower high. Then you see price make a higher low. Price isn't supposed to be making a higher low if we're on a downtrend. So what do you wait for? Wait for a new high in the market, because now that's another sign that buyers are in control in the market and the correction is over. Simply because we are on a bullish sentiment, waiting for a bearish correction to be done. So now you see price come back above, and my indication was telling me, oh, if price comes back above this line again like last time, I know that price can continue. Boom. This would have been a perfect move, and I missed this move. And I'll show y'all why I missed it. Let's see. So I missed this move right here. Easy change of structure, easy indication. Could have took that trade, missed it. I was like, dang, that would have been a juicy move to flip my account. Anyways, I end up catching it right around, where was it? Right here. I caught it right here. So because y'all seen it with the screenshot. All I took in consideration was that price made a new high, corrected, and once price broke above a new high, all I had to tell myself was I'm expecting a newer high in the market. We're coming into New York session. There's going to be a lot of volume. All I'm expecting is the price continue the bullish sentiment above the new high. Because now we're above a new high, what happens? All the sellers that were here, they're not here no more. So now understand buyers have full control to push price up. And this is where you can start playing with quarter points and different levels simply because there's nothing to the left. So like price make a new high, a lot of people say, when do I get out? This is when you start implementing quarter points, because then you start realizing that's where, like, you just ask yourself, where's the majority of people trying to get in? Where's the majority of people trying to get out? And that's where a lot of people are looking at. So those are the things I'll take consideration of. So around 950, I just seen how price reacted to 950, stayed bullish. Notice how it retested on 950, then continued, stayed bullish. My bad, I had to cough. Stayed bullish, then came back above and hit the 2800 new quarter point level. So even though this is 11 minutes, this is basically how I caught these two moves on NAS, and this is how I'm focusing on ICC on the smaller time frame with a small account, because I'm taking consideration I have to be careful. I can try and get these type of trades and hold, but once again, I have to understand I missed this first move, and now I'm still following ICC. Price is continuing to play above the high. This is when I take the trade. This is why I like the simplicity of price action structure. Now, the trade that I did lose, I lost I think I lost $40 on it. Crazy. Lost $40, made it back. It was this trade right here. So I got in a little early simply because I was playing with the 15-minute and I was out of session. So that's where I messed up. Simply just because I was trading out of session and I wasn't being very vigilant on my trade. So around, I want to say under this level, or yeah, it was actually around this level, literally with this candle right here. I took a sell position, put my stop loss, I want to say at these highs. It was, I'll show the trade. History. Oh yeah, it's open time. So NAS, gold right here, boom. So I took the position at 4537, have my stop loss at 4547. We'll go back to the market. Oh, so that's why I did that. Okay. So we got in around 4537. 4537. So 4537, that's literally right here, like I said, with this candle right here. Candle around this area. I had my stop loss at 4547. I had it literally, I literally had it right here. So I had that trade. That was the setup I had. And I was taking it to this low level right here. I simply took consideration that if price does break a level where buyers is at, we're going to go to the next level of buyers. And if we do break, we're going to go to the next level. That's one thing I take consideration when you're trading on the lower time frame. It does take just a little bit more work, because let's say I was in the higher time frame, I go to the 1 hour time frame. Seen price retesting, I would have told myself, well, price just made a lower high. Price just retested from making a low, and price just made a lower high, right? And it's selling off. This is not enough information to let me know that the sellers are in the market to take full control. Simply because you go to the 4 hour time frame, you would have noticed that price isn't bearish on all time frames. So when it comes to the 15-minute time frame, where I messed up, I wasn't aware. I didn't take consideration that, hey, while I was in this trade, I was up like $22 probably right here. Up like 22 right here, right? From here to here. It's not a crazy move. Already up 22. And I was like, all right, I should have closed. Around this time, I literally just went to sleep. Like, I was done. I was done with me. I just went to sleep. So went to sleep, woke up, and price was literally already right here. I was like, what? I literally just went to go check the charts. I didn't go check my trade, went to go check the charts because I already knew my parameters. Check this. I was like, dang, So all I told myself was, you go to the higher time frame, you would have just told yourself, boom, price made a high, higher low, right? Because you can't assume that this is a lower high. Price just made a low, it's retesting. So you can't assume that the correction is already over. This is where I messed up. Higher time frame needs time to breathe as well too, just like the lower time frame does. So all I could have told myself was, I could have simply just, this is why I marked this low right here on the 15 minute. I could have told myself, dang, if I was in this trade and I was watching, and let's say price was coming up, I would have told myself, all right, if I see price breaking above this level, like very aggressively, even though we just sold off, this is giving me indication that I want to close my trade. And look what would happen. I would have probably closed my trade around here. And I probably would have been break even, right? It's like 4347. Wouldn't have made nothing. Go to lower time frame. Let me see. Go to lower time frame, right? Perfect. Go to lower time frame, playing with 15 minute. I would have correlated how price dang tapped into it, made a higher low, and I probably would have got out a little bit earlier, because you know how psychology is. You probably want to get out earlier, make some money, don't want to lose anything. And I would have protected myself and just realized that it wasn't ready to sell yet. And then I could have capitalized on buying position. By the time I woke up, I'm pretty sure, dang, I don't know why it does that. Yeah, by the time I woke up, I was already here, seeing price retesting, and I went up here, and I was already ready to look at that. So I was like, wow, that was whack. But I simply just missed. I just simply missed the setup because I was impatient and I went to sleep. I wasn't managing my trades, and that's something with a small account you really have to understand. With a small account, you can't treat it as if yeah, of course you're okay with losing the risk and okay with making sure your psychology's at peace. But when it comes to a smaller account, you need to be a little bit more tedious when it comes to making setups, especially when you're not trading with your rules. I was trading out of session. So I should have been way more tedious about watching this trade, making sure I made profit or I lost before I went to bed, just to make sure I'm wrong. Because if I did that, I could have easily capitalized on the fact that, oh, price actually isn't bearish. We made a lower high, higher low, and then we actually made the same high, which is actually bigger than this one. Higher low, I could have took consideration that, all right, let me hold some buy positions simply because I know we go to the 4-hour time frame, reset, simply because I know we are breaking above a 4-hour low. So if the sellers aren't here in the market, that means price is going to push above and we're looking for the next lower seller. That's a big indication for me to just, okay, we're treating this level as support. Let me take buys. If you look last time, look how hard price bought. Look how hard price bought in this area, right? In this area above this level. So I missed out on that move, which is okay, but I ain't tripping about it. All I'm telling myself now is that I'm waiting for the correction. Because now look, you see price on the 4-hour, you see price is making a lower high, it's coming back under. Price has come back under this level. I simply can tell myself, I go to the 1-hour time frame, price comes back under this level. Only level I really have to worry about is this higher low right here. And if we continue to break under, I can keep adding positions. Because first I would take the trade under the 4-hour level, right? If price is aligning, 1 hour's bearish, 4 hours bearish, then that means I need to see price breaking this level as well too, because then I know that we're going down here to where lows are at. We're taking out lows, so I know we're going to the lows. So that's why with this setup right now, it's a lot more clearer, because you can clearly see that one, we've corrected and we're selling off heavy, selling off all the way down to a higher low level instead of being bullish above a high, which is indication that another indication, okay, correction could be over. Now we just want to see price break in, make higher lows, show more bearish indication around this level, and trade under. You see that? We can take these lows out. And that's what I'm waiting for with gold. This is like a nice big juicy trade I'm waiting for. Then with NAS is the same thing. Price has made a new high. We really need to see price correct, give it a chance to breathe. But once again, we're trading NAS. NAS has been actually moving very erratically. Like, notice how price broke above this level. We made support above here, came in. We really just been mooning ever since we broke above this level. So I've just been really taking it for a grain of salt and just been watching on how, if price is bearish, then we need to see low levels taken out. So let's go to the 1-hour time frame. If price just made a new high, boom, new high, more high, boom, in the structure, right? In the structure, bang, 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 right? Just bear with me. I know this is a little choppy. if price wants to be bearish, we need to take out all these traders. So price would have to first retest to this level, make a lower high, break this level, and then start attacking this level, right? Start attacking this level where that started the correction. Lower high, attacking these levels, lower high, and continue. Like this is clear. It's clear indication. Price needs to move like that because it's bullish. We need to break lows now. Price wants to be bearish. That's what we need to see. And that's why I've been noticing how it's tricky. Like this is the last thing to end because I know it's a long video. I'm really trying to give y'all the sauce and game to how I look at lower time frames with ICC. It's all about just making sure if the higher time frame is bullish and I'm on the lower time frame and it's bullish, take action. Take action to the highs. Don't try and make this a big trade for you, like a big setup where you're building an account right now. Once you want to get to that status where it takes you 2-3 trades and you hitting big, like you're gonna get there. It's gonna take time. But like look right here. Price made a high or high, corrected, boom, correction over. You can clearly see correction over. So it's good to take a buy position right here, pick your stop loss under the low. This is how you gotta treat NAS. Can't be trying to make it some tight stop loss trade with the 1 hour. One thing I peeped, it's very clean when you trade with the 1 hour. Take buys above this position right here, stop loss at the low. Could have did here, could have did the wicks. But you're just telling yourself you don't want to see price breaking this low because that is giving you indication that we are not buying no more. Till price breaks this low, we are not buying. No, we're buying. So notice, price comes to make a new high, stay stagnant above this gap level, breaks under, right? Breaks under. It's so choppy. This is where a lot of people are trying to get in. They're trying to take little snipes because they can clearly see it's bullish, but they're trying to take small snipes. They're not realizing that they're not trading the actual trend. If price is buying above here, you do not want to see price selling under here at all. But what happens? Price continues to make highs, makes a low that's lower than these levels. You look to the left, it's really filling the gap, not breaking bullish trend that started this move. And then what happens? New high comes in last second. I keep talking about this. Comes in last second and takes everybody out. Took everybody out that tried to call in late, come in that tried to come in early. Took everybody out, closed, and then out of session, price made the new high in the market, giving you indication that price is bullish. It's all that matters. Price never broke a low, and price is bullish. And this is on the 1 hour time, not even the 4 hour. Notice how when price did that, all you're telling yourself is when price makes a high, it has to make a low. So you're just waiting for price to correct itself. Now you see that price made a lower high, so price made a higher low. So now you're just like, all right, this is not where I trade, simply because we don't have clear indication of where we're going in the market. So now, what would have happened is, this is why I said it's been tricky, because we want to trade it in session, but we can't get the clean setup in session. We keep missing it. So you probably could have took the buy position right here, but you would have been risking it because this isn't a new high yet. We just broke above the selling position right here. You really want to see price trading above this level to take action. So what would have happened? You would have seen out of session, right? Price stayed above this high level, showing you that buyers are in control of this level. You would have waited for New York to trade back above here, simply because you already can see that we have a new high. Right, let me show you this. We have a new high, right? You see that last time out of session, price made this high. We just kept going bullish. Where are the next sellers at? Right here. If you see price going bullish, could have went to the lower time frame around this level. I'm pretty sure I know where that level's at. That's like right here. Right here. Could have went time frame on that level, right? Seen that price made a high, higher low, traded back up. Simple as that. Like it's like yo, you're just looking for bullish trend over and over and over and over again, bro. That's all you're looking for. And once you catch that, take it to the highs. Take the position. Take the profit. A lot of people don't even be peeping that, so a little tip that I like to do that lets me pat my back a little bit more is that instead of looking at the profit, look at the percentage. When you look at the percentage, it hits way different, because now you're really feeling like, dang, I'm making 10% on top of my 200. Imagine I have 5,000 and I'm making 10% of 5,000. Do the math. That's like 500 right there. What I was thinking. Yeah. Imagine you're trading your 5K account, you're making 10%. That's 500. That's how you got to look at it, because the percentage is what matters. If you're consistently bringing in good returns, the money is gonna follow. It's gonna follow. Now look. I made a 12% return. I lost about 22% off of gold. It's only because I deposited another 40, I balanced out that other side of the loss, and I end up gaining. I end up winning this loss and gaining some of this back. Now if I was I wish I could show it. I just don't. I'm still gonna get used to the site so I can show you everything that y'all want to see. Like boom, I'm already up. I'm up 2.8. I'm up 3.7. I'm up another 12, another 0.8, over the 20%. You have to realize that this is accumulating. These two trades, because I was very confident in this. That's what messed me up. I was very confident. You should have said I was super confident. And I fell asleep. That's crazy. I shouldn't have did that. But yeah, that just goes to show this is how my account's doing. Even though it looks like it's going good, I'm growing. I have room for improvement, bro. There's room for improvement. Nobody's perfect, bro. Losses will happen in the market. It's all about what you can do. For me, I was able to handle it. I took the loss. I was like, this is a $40 trade. I'm okay with losing $40. I could put the $40 right back. This was about me flipping the account. I was generally trying to flip the account right here with gold, and I ended up losing. But I had risk management. I only lost $40. Look at my account size right now. I'm still in the game. I'm still winning. That's all that matters. But anyways, lay off.